What's going on, everybody? I'm here with Mr.
Ruben Penaranda.
And a late congratulations. You got top 4.
Right? Second place.
My apologies, sir. Second place at
YCS Rio.
And you try to double up again with the same deck, right?
Similar, same idea.
Okay. Well, congrats.
1x3, variants. We love Yu-Gi-Oh! But I had a lot of fun playing this deck. It's been a while since I had a lot of fun playing multiple tournaments with the same deck. I really enjoyed it. A couple people helped me with it. Ricky helped me, Daniel helped me.
Daniel, I'm Adrian Stadhagen.
Yeah. Zach helped me. There's a lot of different people that helped with the combo. Hani, Kamal, Chris. There's a lot of people that just put different ideas into building the deck, and I just put them all together to try and make the perfect version of it. Shout out to my team, Team Inspire. Unfortunately, I don't have the jersey on because I scrubbed. So I didn't want to wear a stinky jersey again. But shout out to all our sponsors. It's Tinfold, Main Phase, Card Haven, and Dueling Guard. So shout out to all of them. Very helpful to get me to all these events, and let's get into the deck profile. So started off, the best card in Yu-Gi-Oh! 3 Asanato. The best normal summon. So these are going to be the starters first. So these 3 are the best cards you want to start with. And then the weaker normal summon, 2 Snake Eye Ash. This is going to seem weird, but it's it makes sense with the math. And Adrian doesn't have his notebook here, so I can't show it to you right now, but there's a reason there's 2 Snake Eye Ash. The ratios are going to be a little weird with this deck. It's just try it, it makes sense. Same thing, 2 Poplar. You need 2 because if you draw one, you can't do the normal combo because when you draw refrain, and you can't pendulum summon it, so you need to have the second one in your deck. So that's it for starters. This deck's separated a little differently because we use that theory to build it. So these are the extenders, but these could also be starters as well. So there's a lot of them. There's 12 more. So as you can see, I only played 2 Bonfire because this is one of the weaker starters. Because normally you're getting for Snake Eye Ash, and we already discussed that Snake Eye Ash is a weaker normal summon than Refrain. So I wanted to max out on Small World because Refrain by itself gets me the card back in my hand by Concerto drawing, so it's not really a neg 1. And I think resolving Refrain is better than resolving Snake Eye Ash. And then we chose to play the 3rd Witch over the 3rd Bonfire because Witch is just strictly a better extender, and it's the same starter essentially as having Bonfire. You just have to discard another card. But in this deck, like we were saying, the card advantage, if you resolve your combo, kind of doesn't matter. And then 1 for 1's 1 for 1. So that's pretty much it for the main starter extenders of the deck. Then we have the engine requirements. These are staple, obviously. Then played 2 Couplet. The second one comes up for Small World and some specific bridges. It's also nice having a second one so you could see Refrain Couplet more often because then you can do the normal combo and you can normal summon your Snake Eye Ash instead of having to search for Poplar, which is really nice. Yeah, it sometimes contributes to brick hands, but I think the power level of the cards warrant it sometimes being a little awkward in your hand. The card's really good. You can Small World forward and resolve its effect, which is also relevant. Same thing with Poplar. And then the Snake Eye one-ups. These try to minimize on them, so I didn't want to play 2 Flambirds. This card also replaced the second Flambird. It's just an additional extender. It makes it so you can play a pure Snake Eye deck when you don't see the Melodious cards. When you see the Melodious cards, your deck's just infinitely better than your opponent's. And then Concerto, the worst card in the deck to draw. And then so that's 30 engine cards, and then all the non-engine because that's what Yu-Gi-Oh! Requires right now. 3 Infirm, 3 Veiler, 3 Ash, 3 Mourner. So these are for the 3 ofs. I felt the negations and Ash were the best hand traps to have generically. Then I didn't want to enter another tournament without Nib. In Brazil I played without Nib and it felt kind of weird, especially going into a top cut. My opponent found out I didn't have Nib, they could play a lot more free. They're just this card's not on their deck list, so I can't play around it. And then being able to Small Worlds for this sometimes came up in testing, which is really nice. Same thing with all the other hand traps, but this one's the most threatening when you establish a board and you're I have Nib, so it's hard to crack. Ghost Ogre. Same kind of reasoning as Nib, I want it somewhere in my deck. I don't think the card's crazy, so I don't want to max out on it, but you could also draw it as your 6th card. It's not the best bridge, so you also don't want to max out on it for that reason. And you can Small World for it to help break a board as well, so that's nice about it. And then 1 Droll. It's a Small World target, and post-board you'll see that it's nice to have the 1 Droll in our deck, and being able to search it for specific matchups is nice as well with Small World. This deck's built on a lot of Small World theory, that's why some of the ratios look a little wonky. And then in my opinion, the best defensive card currently, 3 Talents. The deck has so much gas, I'd rather play this than cross out.
So how much was the main?
50. Unfortunately, the math just says 50 is correct. You could play anywhere between I think it was 46, 47 to 54, but then to see Asanato 2 out of 3 games consistently, you have to play 50 cards to have the max consistency in your deck with least amount of redundancy and least amount of odds to see your weird cards, which were, these. and like the couplet. So since we're playing like 6 cards that are weird, like the field spell is like kind of weird and so is original, you want to like minimize that as much as possible by like playing a higher deck count. And if your opponent doesn't know like who you are, like a lot of people asked what my deck count was because I lost all 8 of my die rolls. They all thought I was playing Despia, so like they play a lot differently when they think you have to play a higher deck count. So that's kind of nice as well. So for the extra deck, Chubacha. I love this card. It's crazy. It's like a plus like 4 or 5 when it resolves. So I felt like this card is just crazy. It gives you a lot of card advantage. It's normally when you draw Sonata, obviously you don't normal summon when you do it, but even with reframe, this card gives you like 3 or 4 free bodies, and you get to pendulum summon 2 reframes back out. So like you get a lot of advantage just with this card, and it being able to allow you to get into Snake Eye cards when you don't have them. I thought was really important because it's like the opposite of the Fire King deck, where like Fire King deck needs Snake Eye cards to resolve to get to your supplementary engine, while the supplementary engine gets us to the best cards in Yu-Gi-Oh. So like I think that was just better. Obviously this is how we get our Snake Eye cards. This card's crazy. Then for our Link monsters, IP, SP, 2 Charmers, and this. So you see no Link 1, you see no Dark. Those are like kind of the different things. Since we're not playing Anima, I felt like Anima didn't come up that much, and because we had cut Dark like entirely, I felt like we need a second Charmer. We're playing a lot of light monsters. People are playing Nib, Valor, and Ghost Ogre, and there's more light decks in the format with pure Melodious engines, and like voiceless decks. So this card was actually really good. I've been testing it at some regionals, even playing the pure Snake Eye deck, and the card's really good. It also helps you like play into Nib and then continue playing after that, which I thought was really nice. You could also like summon Nib, like when you there's some boards where like you need to clear to like make Sonata, so you just like summon a card, make Lina, crash it, either search like a Valor, or you can search a Ghost Ogre, or you can search another Nibiru. Wait, actually, I think it's defense, right? So you can't search Ogre, but you can search the Valor, the Nibiru, and then you just have an additional card, so you're not losing that, and you can resolve Sonata. These cards are just standard. And then one thing that I changed from Brazil, we didn't play Celine, so Celine makes it so your pure Snake Eye plays are a lot better. This card's like mandatory. In my opinion, I realized that we made a mistake in that. This card, crazy. I think this is Exceed the Pendulum. I don't know its English name, to be honest with you. I asked to borrow this card in Brazil, and someone just gave it to me, which was amazing. So I don't know its English name, but this card's really good. On summon, it adds back the pen scale, and it allows you to reborn from the graveyard, which a lot of people don't realize. So it's just like Celine 2.0. So you get to keep an additional card while you're comboing, which is really strong. And then the 2 best Link 3s in my deck, in my opinion. Tri-Gate. It's in a gate. It does double damage, and it banishes a card. Crazy. And then Reborn and Trident. And then Link 4s. Most decks have these Link 4s in them. Game Shot, and then stop your opponent. The extra deck's really tight, so obviously you see I made a lot of sacrifices in it. But I think the deck's strong enough as it is that you don't need all those other cards. Then for the side deck, Kurikara. I wanted a card for like rogue decks because I felt like there wasn't going to be that much Snake Eye, and I was right. I just played against 0 Snake Eye. So this card was actually a lot better than I expected. You can like small world search it. It's also the kind of like redundancy issue of like Snake Eye where you like bonfire for a pop, or you use its like special summon effect and then you resolve Snake Eye Ash. This gives you like an additional card to search off of it going second. It gives you another summon. So that's really cool, and it just helps me like clear boards versus a lot of decks that like you wouldn't be able to. It's like decent versus like Raid Raptor. I didn't play against that, but like you could do versus that. It's good versus the Voiceless Voice deck. It's like helpful because as you see we're not playing Access Code in the extra deck in our main deck, so like it's a lot harder to like clear field. So this card's really important. Searchable with Engine and Small World. The 3rd Nib, because don't want to get caught with my pants down, like I said earlier. Want Nib in my deck. Then the cards I feel like should be in a lot of people's side decks because boards are just crazy again. 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Droplet. These are like the ones that answer the most problems on the field. So like if you don't draw a hand trap, like we're playing 50 cards, we at least get a lot of like good board breaker cards because like we have Talents, we have Imperm in the deck, and then we have like access to Ghost Ogre. So like that gives us 14 cards that we can draw off the top to like play against our opponent if we don't open a defensive card, which is really nice. I just play 1 backer destruction. Twin, I played Cosmic before. Twin, in my opinion, is better because it just hits more cards. And like this card only matters versus the Runic deck, in my opinion. So like versus the Runic deck, you're losing when they have Skill Drain face up. So like they can't Yugen you, but they can Muddin you. Shout out to my Runic opponent for not Mudding my twin sister. I thought I was gonna lose, just beat O2 at the start of the tournament and drop. I got to play a couple more rounds but still drop, so it didn't make too much of a difference. But yeah, I think Twin's good just for that like specific situation with Skill Drain. And then the last 4 cards are 3 cross out to make your deck going first better. I don't know if it's needed. The card was okay. I don't have like that much experience drawing this card in this specific deck. It's probably good, to be honest with you. It could also be Skill Drain. And then Access Code because we didn't play it in the regular deck, but I think we need it going second. Yeah. That's pretty much it for the Light Fairy Goo. This deck was a lot of fun. I recommend playing it before the new cards come out. It's enjoyable. It rewards you for playing correctly. It punishes you for playing incorrectly. A lot of fun in a Yu-Gi-Oh deck.
Cool. Thank you and congrats on your second place finish and sadness on your your scrub finish, but it'd be like that.
Yeah, it happens.
Alright,
Oh well, had fun playing my deck.
We'll catch you in nuts.
Yes, sir.
All right.